Okay, so we are back in my little puzzle game after many a day where I did not have the time to fix things. And then today, by the power of caffeine, I managed to fix a whole bunch of bugs. I was inspired, and all of a sudden I was in the zone watching the Notify Twitch stream, and things just started clicking. And look at this, guys. Left trigger, right trigger. You just pull the trigger from the menu. This is a very basic menu. And what that means is it doesn't use very good programming practices. It's basically a copy of the starter level menu, but then I made two copies of the starter menu, and one triggers when this one is pulled down, and the other triggers when the right trigger is pulled down. And they don't create and destroy themselves when they're not in use. They're just always hidden. So they're always in game, right? Let's see if they work in the next level. No, they do not. Okay, that's good to know. Here we are again, level 1. Still haven't fixed why he walks faster when I start in level 1 rather than when I start in the main menu when he walks slower. That's a different problem. So I can use the D-pad to go up and down. It's a bit buggy. Like some of the highlights don't quite work as they should. But I can go left to right when this row is visible when you're on item. I can even select using the left face button or X on Xbox or square on PlayStation. So you can select different items. It remembers where you left off, basically by not having a default and resetting it. I did have it, but I don't know. And then this one, I just gave it some names just to, just to kickstart different ideas. It doesn't have to be a scanner. You go to options, and now you have different options that you can choose. And you use the B button. And why the B button for this menu and the X button for that one? Well, because the green button or A button is for the character. So the idea is, so far, for my simple puzzle game that is getting overly complicated very quickly. So long term, I thought, well, this guy's in the world. You want to interact with something in the world, you press the button, as you'd expect. And then, by pulling the left trigger, he should have an animation that he pulls up something in his left hand. And to not complicate what I had built and use the same button for selecting in this menu, on the left side of the controller, you can use the D-pad to go up and down. And then the left button is for the left arm, and the right stick and right trigger on the right side of the controller are for this menu, and the right button, right face button, is for selecting. See? And so these ones are not hooked up yet either. But that's kind of the long term. So the character should have animations where he pulls something out of his pocket or from his utility belt, and without conflicting buttons depending on which menu item you're holding in what arm, you have different buttons, and that kind of keeps it nice and simple for the wiring in your brain, so to speak. There's no pause. I would prefer it to have some kind of slowdown rather than pause, but it doesn't really matter. This is going to be a pretty simple puzzle game for now. Okay, so that's it for now. I think the next step is going to be seeing if I can add the collectibles to the third-person blueprint. And so if we check in here, this is the third person. This is the third-person blueprint. But then within the Easy 3D Platformer kit, which I showed you guys last week, I managed to move all this over. Let's see, it's here. This is their third person, and this is their blueprint. And so some of the things in here will have to be moved over to mine. Like, it's basically, this is the stuff. So the spawning, all that will have to be moved over. Let's go out, and then I don't think I really need this. I think this is double up now. So yeah, so lots of things to figure out now that I've managed to move a starter kit from the marketplace into my own game. Now I have to figure out how to hook it up correctly with my game. So that's next. So keep you guys posted. So this isn't quite working yet. I have a lot of groundwork to do in the blueprints behind the scenes, but let's just put one in here just to see what happens. Move it up a little bit like that. Alt or Option P to start working. So now the level is running. I press F8 to take control of the character. Ah, that's cool. So can't see it here. As you can see, there's no interaction. Okay, so I guess that, oh, what is happening with the controls? My controls are messed up again. That's interesting. Exit, Command 11. There we go. I have found here the blueprint. This is the one I put 2 X's in front of it, so I can tell the difference between the 3D Platformer kit blueprint and my own. Let's see. We already know what's going to happen. Nothing. Squeeze through. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. Menus are still working. I have been moving some things over and breaking things and putting them back together. Now I have a robot with roller skates on. That's great. Can I pick stuff up? No. It's kind of funny actually.